by the end of the day, I had so much blood in my urine that I was freaking out. I had to bring in a bucket into my room so I don't have to keep going to the washroom and I can just pee in that bucket in the middle of the night. I could literally barely breathe by that point and barely talk because I was in so much pain. And because what if I needed to go to the doctor and spend most of my time on a holiday on a toilet, sitting on a toilet? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different and more serious. I was even debating to film this because it's very personal to me. However, if I can help some people, then I would love to, because there was something that has helped me. Today I'm going to talk about my journey of this awful condition, which you've seen by the title already, recurrent urinary tract infections, which I'm going to refer to as UTIs for the rest of this video, and also how I'm currently mostly UTI free, which is, by the way, a huge thing for me to say. And no, the product is not D-mannose that you've heard a bunch about. However, I will talk about that too, but there's something new on the market that has really helped me, and I haven't really seen any video talking about it on YouTube. Also, I just want to prepare you guys that I'm going to go into a lot of detail in this video, and it might be a little bit too long. I actually got really inspired by pelvic empowerment on YouTube. I'm going to link her channel down below, because personally her video was the most informative for me and helped me so much, and that's how I found out about D-mannose, I'm pretty sure. And she was literally the one who saved me from antibiotics, so I really appreciate her. She's the best. Her video is amazing. I'll link it down below, make sure you check it out. So to start off, I just want to give you guys a little bit of background info about my UTI journey. If you're not interested, I totally understand it, and if you want to skip to the part where I'm talking about the supplement that helped me, then make sure you skip to this part of the video. But yes, let's start with this story. So it was a few years ago when I got my first ever UTI. Never had it prior, but my boyfriend told me it's very common, so I didn't really think anything of it, and you know, I was told it's pretty common to happen after intercourse, basically. You know, it was the common symptoms of burning feeling when you're peeing and an urge to pee. And of course I went to the doctor, got antibiotics, and it went away. Then not long after, I got another, and I got another, and another UTI. And it kept going on just like that. And it got to the point where it was so frequent that I got so concerned. It was literally every month, pretty much. Or I would just literally feel it right away. Once I'm off antibiotics, it comes back right away. I'm like, why? If I just finished the antibiotic course, treatment is done, I should be bacteria free, I shouldn't be feeling any pain, and it will come back right up. I'm like, what the heck? Am I resistant to the antibiotic they're giving me? I wasn't sure. One time it has got to the point where the UTI has reached to my kidney and caused me kidney infection. And I'm telling you, I'll never forget that day. That was the worst experience of my life. So I don't really remember the events leading up to the kidney infection because it's been a few years now. I just remember that I was coming home from school one day and I felt this weird sensation in my right lower back. It wasn't really pain, it was just this weird feeling that I never had before, so I didn't really think much of it, and you know, I thought I would sleep on it, it'll get better. However, to your surprise, it actually got worse the next day, but I had to go to school and I couldn't skip classes, so I went. Then later on that day, I noticed that my urine started to get progressively redder and redder, and by the end of the day, I had so much blood in my urine that I was freaking out. I was so scared. I'm like, what the heck is going on? It was so painful. By that time, my back was hurting so much too, and I knew I have to go to the doctor because I didn't know what to do. So because my school was in Toronto, I was actually with my boyfriend. I asked my boyfriend, like, can you please drive me home and take me to the doctor? I live in a different city, so he had to drive me home, and by the time it was so late that doctor's offices were not open. So it was only the emergency clinic that was open, and oh my god, they were amazing, and I still love them so much. If I have some emergency, I actually go there instead of my family doctors. They're so much better. Anyways, when we were driving to the emergency clinic, I could literally barely breathe by that point and barely talk because I was in so much pain, and I felt like if I took a deep breath, it would cause even more pain, like putting pressure onto my kidneys. And overall, I just felt really, really awful and nauseous, and I was literally in so much discomfort. I felt like I was barely there mentally. Anyways, once I got into the room, the physician told me that if I waited longer, I would have had to go to the hospital and get IV antibiotics because it could have led to sepsis, which was so scary to think about because sepsis is really dangerous and can be deadly. So sepsis is basically when the infection enters into your bloodstream and just causes infection throughout your whole body. So hope you learned from this lesson. Make sure you do not wait until it travels up to your kidney because it's so scary. Right away when you feel burning, just go to the doctor, and I don't care how many times they see you in a month, just go to your doctor because you want to save yourself. You want to protect yourself from getting into more dangerous situations. I learned my lesson from that for sure. Anyways, once I was done with him in the room, he basically prescribed me this really strong antibiotic called ciprofloxacin. But prior to taking it, it said in the instructions that you had to eat something. However, I haven't eaten anything. As I said, I couldn't breathe, I couldn't talk. Like, of course, I'm not gonna eat. I already felt so nauseous, and the medication says that you can only take this with food. I was like, oh my god, like I need to go home first, which is gonna take me I don't know how many minutes, then try to force some food down. It's gonna be hard. Anyways, when I got home, I was so sick and nauseous, I could barely put down anything in my throat, but I did it. I took a few bites, I took the medication, and I would say in about half an hour, I could already feel the effect coming in. But by that time, I was so exhausted. I was so exhausted. I literally just laid in bed. My boyfriend cuddled me, and he was so comforting. I will never forget that. But yeah, I was so happy once I felt the pain kind of subsiding. So after this little incident, of course, I got really vigilant. I was way more paranoid every time I felt the burn. I was like, oh my god, it's starting again. I can't get to kidney infection. I have to go to the doctor right away. And it would literally consume my mind. Right away when I would feel a little burning sensation, it would just take over my whole mind. I would not be able to concentrate on anything. And of course, I was in school at the moment, so it was really hard for me to focus on studying because it happened to me so often. Anyway, so the UTIs kept coming and coming again. I constantly was going to walk-in clinics, not even to my family doctor because I literally was in so much pain and discomfort that I couldn't wait to get to my family doctor. I had to go to the closest walk-in clinic. I'm done my class, checking the location, where's the closest walk-in clinic I can run to, and I would run, and of course I had to wait, which was the most annoying time. And sometimes they would tell me that I have no infection. They do the dip test, the strip test, and it showed no white blood cells or anything. I'm like, but there's no way I have no infection because I'm in so much discomfort. I know I have a UTI. I've had this thousands of times. I know my body. So it was really, really upsetting that sometimes I would have to go home and continue living with the pain and discomfort and just being so scared that it's gonna travel up my kidney again. So yeah, UTI basically ruined my everyday life. I would barely have days where I felt normal down there. At one point, I was concerned that it was because I was on birth control and it had to do something with hormones. But there was really no way for me to get off birth control. Like, that was just a no-no for me. And I also thought it could be maybe because I'm eating so much sweets, so I tried to cut down on my sweets, but it also didn't really help. It also affected my relationship, as you can see, because I was told that it's due to intercourse, and I would be scared to have intercourse because I knew, oh, I'm gonna have intercourse and I'm gonna get a UTI right after, which would happen quite a lot. And people would say, oh, there's something wrong with your partner, he needs to get checked. But honestly, there's nothing really that they can check on him. Like, what are they gonna check? So I would roll my eyes at a lot of people, and it would hurt my feelings, But I'm also really bad at explaining things. But anyways, don't worry, there's nothing wrong with your boyfriend. Some women are just more prone to getting urinary tract infections and can become a recurrent one. But people, like scientists, don't really know why some women are more prone. Some people don't get it, and there's still not a cure. I mean, there's a cure, but antibiotics, oh my god, I'm so sick of antibiotics. Anyways, I'm one of those unfortunate and unlucky women. But yeah, I would even get it when I would be on my period or doing some physical activity, and I wasn't even with my boyfriend. So I'm like, no, it's not because of my boyfriend that I get UTIs. It's something wrong with me. Anyways, to try to prevent UTIs, of course, me and my partner would go with all the precautions and tips to try to prevent UTIs. You know, for example, making sure that we're clean, drinking lots of water, staying hydrated, peeing before and after sex. I started taking over-the-counter cranberry pills, which let me tell you do not work, and drinking raw cranberry juices. I tried everything, and I would still get them. Anyways, it was really devastating, and I cannot even tell you that feeling. I was just miserable. I suffered through my classes and work so many times, and I couldn't even think of going on vacations because what if I needed to go to the doctor and spend most of my time on a holiday on a toilet, sitting on a toilet? It would also ruin my sleep, so I would constantly wake up needing to pee and being in pain. And you know, when I had UTIs and I had to go to sleep, I would have to wake up constantly in the middle of the night because I'm thinking, oh, I need to empty my bladder out to clean it, because if I leave it in and let the bacteria start overgrowing, then it's gonna be much worse in the morning, much worse in the morning. It even got to a point one time, which is really embarrassing, I must say, that I had to bring in a bucket into my room so I don't have to keep going to the washroom, and I can just pee in that bucket in the middle of the night. And I would bring toilet paper too with me. It was disgusting, guys. And you know, I would empty the bucket in the morning, and I'm not even ashamed of it. I'm not even ashamed of it. It was terrible times, guys. I was just so helpless at that point. So I was taking antibiotics constantly, and I realized I literally cannot go on like this because I was very afraid of antibiotic resistance, and I hate putting pills in my body. At one point I was taking so much macrobid that I started noticing a slight chest pain. So when I would take a deep breath, I wasn't sure if it was maybe because of anxiety, but I was pretty sure it was due to the antibiotic. And so I started researching. I read that macrobid has this very rare side effect that can be actually pretty dangerous, but it doesn't happen in many people. It's very rare, as I said, and I wanted to just get it off of macrobid and antibiotics. Even more, I did not want to touch those pills because I could feel like some weird effect on my lungs. I've also been referred to a urologist eventually, and honestly, he wasn't really helpful. He basically wanted me to get an ultrasound done to see if there's anything wrong with my kidneys or if there's anything wrong in my bladder, and he basically said that if the UTIs continue, he would prescribe me these post-coital antibiotics, meaning I would have to take them after intercourse, but in like a lower dosage, which I did not want to do whatsoever. I literally refused it. I'm done with antibiotics. So I researched a lot, which I'm pretty sure all of you who are going through this do research a lot. Unfortunately, I didn't find much useful information. However, as I said in the beginning of the video, I did stumble upon Pelvic Empowerment's video, who introduced me to D-mannose. Her story and the comments under her video were so promising that, you know, I said I must try it, and I found out that D-mannose is not cheap at all. But you know, at that point I didn't care about the price. I would literally pay anything just for this to stop happening. And you know, I just wanted to feel normal again. And guess what? It literally helped. It did help, and I was so happy. It helped get rid of my UTI without taking antibiotics, and I noticed that I stopped having UTIs for a few months. So if you do want to try out D-mannose and you haven't, I recommend you take the powder form and not the pill. And yeah, it's much more concentrated. And I noticed that the powder form is much more effective at keeping the UTIs at bay, just like how Pelvic Empowerment has mentioned in her video. Anyways, I was so happy. I couldn't even begin to tell you how happy I was and relieved. And believe it or not, my UTIs were gone for a year or more. I wasn't sure if it was because of just simply taking D-mannose or if I have done some lifestyle changes, because I have done, although I don't really remember, but I know I did change some lifestyle. I started working out, I started taking less sugary foods and started eating a little bit more healthier, so maybe that was also the reason why. And the thing is, D-mannose got really expensive and I did stop taking it because I thought, you know, that's it, finally, no more UTIs for me, although I was still always paranoid and had it in the back of my mind. And you know, I was fine for a while without D-mannose, but guess what? All of a sudden I felt it again. And you know, I started taking D-mannose again, but for some reason it didn't work. And you know, I had to go get an antibiotic again, which I was super upset about. And you know, it started again, non-stop UTIs all the time. And I thought, you know, oh, my body got too used to D-mannose, it stopped working. I had no idea, it just wasn't really working anymore. So again, of course, I started researching more if there's anything else that could help me. Like, there's no way that this condition is so common for a woman, and there's still no better answer to treating this other than antibiotics. Anyways, after a long search, I did end up stumbling upon this website called UTIVA. By the way, this video is not sponsored or anything, but I'm gonna talk a lot of good things about this website or this product. So the product they're selling is called UTIVA, and these are little pills. And you know, at the beginning I was really skeptical. I was like, oh, this is just a scam probably, because there are so many other pills out there that claim to work but they don't. And you know, this is just another company that's trying to sell these pills for ridiculous amount of money. And you know, because it was pretty expensive and I've never heard of it, I just kind of closed the site. And you know, the only reviews that I could actually find were on the actual site. And you know, sometimes those people are just kind of being paid to make good reviews, but they're not actually true. And I literally couldn't find anything else about this brand. I tried to YouTube it, tried to Google, I couldn't find anything. So I'm like, you know what, I'm done with that. I don't believe in UTIVA. But then eventually I became so desperate that I said, you know what, I don't care about the money, I'm just gonna buy it. What do I have to lose at this point? Nothing really. And there was this video on the website where a urogynecologist is talking about this supplement. Her name is Dr. Colleen McDermott from Mount Sinai Hospital. And this is where I started to think about it more seriously, because it did seem a bit more legit. And you know, the website said it's also clinically proven, so I wanted to read some research on it to see if it has really been proven to work. And I did actually see great results. I'll try to find the article that I read about and link it in the description. So I ended up buying a 3-month supply from their website. Also offer a 1-month supply, but it's worth much more of your money if you buy the 3-month supply one. And it makes much more sense because the website says to take it for at least 4 weeks to start working to see beneficial results. So if I stopped after a month, it would kind of be useless, as I would just start to see the benefits, if you know what I mean. So I definitely recommend the 3-month supply one, even though I know it's very pricey, but it's actually worth more of your money. But literally all you need is 1 capsule a day and it will last you for 3 months, for a really, really long time. So 1 month supply costs $39.99 Canadian dollars, and the 3-month supply costs $104.99 plus the shipping. But it's not a lot because, well, for me it's not, because I'm literally right beside Toronto. So I'm just gonna read some stuff about this supplement actually, so you guys can see what this is all about. The beneficial ingredient is the 36 milligram proanthocyanidins. I hope I said this right. In other words, PACs. So they refer to this long-term chemical or compound as PACs, and this is the amount that has been clinically proven to help prevent UTI. So 36 milligram PACs is the beneficial ingredient in this capsule. And in the comments, someone said that they've been UTI free for 2 years now. So I was like, oh my god, heaven sent. And let me show you guys how many bottles I've accumulated over the past few months, or the past year pretty much. I'm pretty sure I've been taking it for a year now. So I literally saved the bottles for you guys just so you can see how many I've taken. This is what the box looks like. And as you can see on it, it has 90 veggie capsules. So this one is 3 months supply. You take 1 capsule per day. I'm almost done with my 3rd bottle, so I actually have to reorder it because I don't want to stop. You do not want to stop, because I'll tell you what happened to me once. There was a time where I was about 3 months UTI free completely, and I was like, oh my god, this product is heaven sent. Why is no one talking about it? But one time I left the box or the bottle at my boyfriend's place, and I haven't seen him for like 5 days, so I stopped taking it, and I thought, you know, it'll be fine. However, once I got it back after the 5th day, I started taking it again, and I started having UTI feelings again. And things just started going downhill again. I was so mad. I couldn't believe I'm getting another UTI. Finally, it was going so well. And you know, I ended up going on antibiotics again. And I was so sad because I still kept taking the UTIVA, but it just didn't seem to work anymore again. I'm like, is this happening to me again, just like it did with D-mannose? Did it just stop working? And you know, sometimes I was still able to manage with just D-mannose. And I always strictly continued taking this UTIVA because I just wanted to get that benefit back again. Maybe one day it will start working again. Anyways, I noticed that it did start to kick in again, and while I was on this for 9 months now, I'm pretty sure. I feel like I threw out another bottle. I feel like I've been on it for much longer. But I only had like 2 full-blown UTIs where I had to take antibiotics, or just once maybe, when I was able to cure it with D-mannose, but which is very, very good for me, because thinking back, I had like UTIs every 2 weeks or almost every day and every month. 2 and 9 months is nothing for me. So yeah, when you miss the day, just make sure you take it as soon as possible the next day. Try not to skip it. Gotta be really strict with it. I make sure I'm always taking it every single day, and I've been symptom free and UTI free for a few months now, I would say, and I'm so happy. I don't want to jinx it, but it's really helped me. It helped me more than anything. You know, taking this UTIVA doesn't mean that you can stop with all the habits that you've done before, such as peeing before and after sex, hydrating. You want to continue doing all those besides taking this UTIVA. Okay, some other things you want to know about UTIVA that I retrieved from their website, which I'm of course going to link it down below, that you can check it out yourself as well. So I'm going to insert a picture right here. As you can see, the UTIVA pill is like 1,000 times, okay, not 1,000 times, but a lot more concentrated than the other over-the-counter cranberry pills, which don't even work. And it says most cranberry supplements contain very little PACs, which is the beneficial ingredient that I told you about. This is usually 1% or less than 5 milligrams compared to UTIVA's 15% concentration of PACs to get 36 milligram effective dose. Cranberry juice has been ineffective due to low PACs and also having high amounts of sugar. So this is basically just a really, really freaking concentrated pill. Much more concentrated than all the other competitor pills. Clinical studies have proven that 36 milligrams of concentrated PACs once a day is required to help prevent UTI recurrences. And that's what I read in the research study too that I found, which was not powered by UTIVA or anything. It was literally just the active ingredient they were testing in the study, and it did help a lot of people. To be effective against bacteria, the dosage and concentrated strength of PACs must be exact, it must be medical grade and precision controlled, which is what this brand does. So yeah, to conclude, this video was intended for people who has not found a remedy that works for them, or D-mannose has stopped working for them just like it did for me. And I really hope this video can help you guys in some way, help stop your recurrent UTIs, or at least make them less frequent, just like it did for me, which is a huge relief and result for me. I hope this video made you realize that you're not alone in this. And I really, really hope that one day we will find a cure other than antibiotics to treat UTIs. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask it in the comments or message me privately. I will try to answer, well, not try, I will definitely answer all of your questions. So, what is my current remedy? I take UTIVA every single day. Try to do it at the same time. I make sure I drink lots of water, even though sometimes I can say that I do, but I try my best. And if you feel like UTI is coming on, the package says, the container says that you can take another extra pill for the day. Or what you can do is just take like a spoon of D-mannose, mix it in water, and just have that. If I have a UTI, I don't want to run straight to the doctor. I want to experiment with D-mannose. Usually this does clear it for me. So what I would do is I would take 1 teaspoon every 2 to 3 hours mixed in water for about 3 to 4 days. And usually it would clear by itself. However, if it wouldn't, then of course I would go to the doctor. But that's it, ladies. I hope this video helped. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe if you haven't already. Bye!